So in this lesson, we've been talking about the MediaPlayer class and how we can add different types of audio into our applications. And so I'm just going to show you a little demo here of how to use the MediaPlayer class, and we're going to build a quick little app where we can look at how to start and stop an MP3 that's running in your application. So I went ahead and started a new project, and I named it Ocean Sounds. And so here we are in Android Studio, and you can see that I've just picked a hollow light theme, and I'm just going to get rid of this string to start with so that we don't have this hello world string. And so I went ahead and I grabbed an ocean sounds, kind of soothing ocean sounds audio MP3 from a royalty-free website, and I also grabbed a picture to go along with that. And so I'm going to set up the picture of the ocean and a start and stop button here in the app so that we can play the ocean sounds when we want to hear them and then stop them when we want to stop them, and just basically create like a little relaxation app. So to get started, I'm going to get my ocean picture. And here it is on my desktop. I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to come over to my drawable folder, and I'm going to paste. And I'm going to name it waves.png. Right, all lowercase, no spaces. Now our MP3 audio goes in the raw file or a folder, and we don't by default have our raw folder out here, but you can come up to Res, and you can right-click New, and we're going to go to Android Resource Directory, and we're going to name it RAW, and we can see in our resource type that RAW is an option, and click OK. And it takes a second for that to pop up, and if it doesn't pop up for you, just go ahead and make your project and do a build, and that should help push it along. So once you have your RAW folder, we're going to do the same thing that we just did with the picture with your MP3. So I've copied the MP3 audio, I click the RAW folder and I paste, and we can see here's my MP3, and then I'm going to name it Ocean Waves.mp3. Not just ocean. I like smaller names. There we go. So now we can see we have our PNG file in our drawable, we have our MP3 file in our RAW. Now we can set up our controls. So I'm going to put an image view on the page, and I'm going to come over here to the properties of that image view, and I'm going to come down to the source, and I'm going to search for, in my resources, under drawable, my waves. And there it is. You see a little preview. Click OK, and there is my nice picture, a little clip art picture of waves. So now I'm going to set up two buttons. One of them is going to start, and one of them is going to stop our audio. So I click on the button, and if I double click, I have the text, so I can put play ocean sounds. I'm going to call this the play button. And then this one is the stop ocean sounds, and this is going to be the stop button. Super. So now that you have your two buttons, and you can arrange these however you like, we're going to go over to our Java, our main activity.java. I'm not going to set up a separate activity for this, although you could if you wanted to maybe have a list of the audios that you wanted to present and then open each one in a separate activity. That would be absolutely doable. So I'm going to start by setting up a variable up here at the top of our class, right, to hold the MediaPlayer object that will be initialized. Super. So this is MediaPlayer, right? Go ahead and do your Alt-Enter to import that in. And I'm going to name it Waves. In your onCreate method, this is where you initialize. So we're initializing the media object. So my Waves object is going to equal MediaPlayer.create. This is ultimately the context in which we're working in, because that's the first parameter that we would call here as the context. And then we do r.raw. The name of your file, but tricky right here, don't put any file extension, right? Just the name of the file. So my MP3 is named ocean.mp3, so this is r.raw.ocean. So the last thing we need to do before we can test is to come down here and set up a method that our button will activate when it clicks. So this is going to be public void play button click. Right? It takes a view. We don't need it, but in order for our button to recognize it, we have to implement the view. And so our waves object.start is what ultimately is going to start that audio that's been initialized. And then likewise, public void stop button click and sets up a view is what our stop button is going to implement, and that is waves.stop. Right? Very easy, very easy. So that we just come back over to our XML view. We click our play button, and we come down here to our click event, our on click, and now we should have our play button click, and in the stop button we have our stop button click. So go ahead and test that out. When you run, and I'll show you it here in a second on mine, you should be able to hit the play button, the ocean sound starts, hit the stop button, ocean sounds stop.
So here is the demo of the Ocean Sounds app. So you can see I went ahead and loaded it up. We can see our ocean picture. And when I click play ocean sounds, you should be able to hear it. You can hear it on my microphone here. Right, okay, ocean sounds. And so when we click the stop, then the sound stops, right? Just calling the start and stop on that object is all we need to do to implement that.